This is Mike Chevalier. We're going to keep it simple and precise. Young men, deal with your trauma. Young men, deal with your trauma. We have too many young men today who've experienced dysfunctional relationships in their family, come from a dysfunctional background, whether it be with their father or their mother or both. And if we don't deal with that, we don't do the inner work, because they don't teach us this in the schools, how to deal with our traumas. So we grow up trying to figure it out or cope with it. And a lot of times the young people cope with it through video games. Chasing tail, chasing ass. Looking for that quick fix, right? When you play video games all night, you play it all the damn time. That's your way of escaping from reality. That's why a lot of guys chase a lot of women. I know, because I've been there. Been there, done that. And now that I'm in my 40s, almost 50, I put away those childish games. I don't chase ass. If I do play video games, and obviously it's the old school video games, right? You know, I was playing video games in the 90s. Nintendo, Sega, Genesis. And for some reason, a lot of today's generation, these young men, they're playing 24/7. If they're working, they go to work and then they come back and they own that game hour after hour after hour. And I get it. It's not only game playing, but it's a way to socialize, right? It's a way to connect. When I was younger, we'd play video games, yeah. But as you get older, you start to mature and not play them so much. Every now and then I'll play on my Nintendo. Roughly like 10, 15, 20 minutes, and then I'm bored. A lot of us men are looking for a quick fix. It's the same thing with these women. A lot of the young men are sleeping with these women or trying to get women when they haven't done the inner work to find out who they are and find out, why do I play so much video games and why do I have to chase so many women? What am I trying to do? A lot of us are trying to offset our pain, our sorrows, whatever traumas we went through with our family background when we were kids, trying to cope with that, trying to cope with the pain. And I get it, it's real, especially those who have been abused from their father or mother or both, who are been neglected, abandoned. I get it. But there has to come a time, as you guys get more mature and you get older, you start to want to know, who am I? Like the ancient black Egyptians have hieroglyphed on the walls. Man, know thyself. We need to start doing the inner work. Find out why we move the way we move. Why do we make the decisions the way we make them? Try to figure out, why do I play video games so damn much? And then looking at that screen damn near 24/7, if you got eye problems, it makes it worse. And if you don't have eye problems, keep playing hour after hour after hour. And the same thing with chase and tail. A A lot of men are going from one relationship to the next, to the next, to the next, expecting somehow this woman or sex is going to fix it. It's not going to fix it. The video games don't fix it. Fix what? Your pain, your depression, your sadness, or whatever you're going through. The video games, the women, is not going to fix it. Money will not fix it. I'm big on therapy. I'm big on counseling. I'm big on reading psychology books, trying to find out what the hell is going on. What's going on? And how can I fix my situation? How can I make myself better psychologically, physically, and mentally? You know, when you play these video games, right, your endorphins kick in, right? You get happy, you get excited. Well, you can do the same thing with exercising. And I know this sounds ridiculous, but it's true. Our bodies create endorphins. Instead of smoking weed, you know, your body creates that naturally, organically. That happy feeling, that excitement. If you do cardio enough, you ever heard of runner's high? You jog for an hour, 30, 40 minutes, depending on who you are. After a while, your endorphins kick in and you get that, wow, this feels good. It's called a runner's high. Well, it's the same thing when you lift weights. When you lift weights and you're serious about lifting weights, right? 3-4 times a week. You take the right supplements, right? Amino acids, protein shakes. Amino acids is supposed to make it to where when you lift, you're not as sore and your muscles get better or feel better with time. You're not as sore. Your muscles recuperate much faster. These video games, there's nothing wrong with them. It's just when you overdo it, when you lean on it, when you depend on it. And there's nothing wrong with talking to women, but it's when you make it your life. You're in a relationship with a woman and she breaks up with you and you're ready to off yourself. You're ready to give up on life? No. And I get it. You guys are going to keep doing the same thing in the same way and expecting a different outcome. What is that? You're going to continue to play video games all day and all night. If you're working, you'll go to work and then come home and keep doing the same thing. Eventually, you guys are going to be fathers. Eventually, if you're not a father, you're going to have children if you don't have them already. The fuck you going to keep playing video games all day and all night every time you come home from work? You're not going to spend time with your kids. You're not going to teach. You're not going to spend time with your wife. That's all you're going to do is play video games? And those that aren't married, all you're going to do is play video games and chase ass? Not want to work on yourself? Not want to do the inner work? If you're fat and overweight and you feel disgusted, do something about it. Cardio helps. Lift some weights. I'm not saying be super muscular, but that'll help. If you're in a depression, exercise. I'm not saying that's the end all and begin all and lifting weights, but try. We're men. We fight our way through things. We don't give up. And yes, a lot of us have come from abusive backgrounds, and they don't teach us this in high school. So now you're an adult, they got books on this stuff. You can book a therapy session, a counseling session, and all it is talking to someone, and a good therapist is just they show you a mirror of of what you're going through and how to fix it. They cause you to think. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't have it already, but I wouldn't be surprised later on in the future, instead of Alcoholics Anonymous, these AA programs or whatnot, They're going to have programs for gamers who have an addiction playing games and not dealing with reality. And that's another thing. These playing games all the time is really an escape because you can't deal or choose not to deal with reality, to deal with real life issues and learn how to solve those issues. So when you're always playing games, it takes away your way of reasoning and figuring out how can I solve this problem that I have in real life. That's why I'm a firm believer in chess, right? If you're going to play a game, learn how to strategize. Learn how to think like a boss, like a man. Because that's what men do. Strategize. You got problems? Figure it out. Don't come up with excuses. Don't be a whiner. Don't be a person who goes, well, I'm going to go try to talk to this girl, to cover up all my pain and stuff, because it's not going to go away. If anything, it enumerates. And a lot of times young people, instead of finding solutions to their problems, they find ways to make it bigger. This is Mike Chevalier. I'm doing everything I can in this speech. Hopefully I can hit someone. I'm not trying to be nice. I want to hit your subconscious mind where you're like, damn, you know what? He's right. Young men, deal with your trauma. It's not going to go nowhere unless you deal with it. The video games are not going to take it away. The women aren't going to take it away. Learn to deal with reality head on. This is Mike Chevalier, keeping it simple and precise. That's it. I'm done.